I'm gonna be an astronaut.
Hello, who you got on BestsPointOfViewTV today?
You got Montrael, aka Montii Carlo.
Right. So you call yourself Montrael on Apple Music, but some people might call you Montii Carlo on because of your Instagram name. Like, what's your real stage name?
My real stage name is my name, Montrael.
Right.
People just always call me Montii. Even when I first started coming out with music, that's just what people call me.
Right.
So it's just.
So is Montii Carlo your real name, like your real government name, or nah?
Nah, my real government name is Montrael. That's the A for the E. A lot of people get it confused.
What about the Carlo part?
The Carlo, not all of that is just it's all nicknames.
So how you came up with that?
Being stupid. I used to be a fake rapper, with my friends and stuff like that. I used to go to this summer camp, and they used to call me Montii 0000 from the trap.
What the?
Okay. We're not going to. We were young,
Right.
okay?
Right.
We were young. And then as I got older, people just start calling me Montii. And I realized people was never going to stop calling me Montii. Even
Right.
people who don't know me, people who reach out to me for shows and to do stuff, they always hit me like Montii first.
Montii, right.
Especially if they heard about me through someone else and they refer to me as Montii.
Right.
So I just added on the Carlo because it's like, welcome in Montii. Like, nah. Montii Carlo. Like, that shit got a ring to it.
Word. That's what's up. So you're a singer, right?
Yep.
Talk about how you first got into singing, like your whole process.
Well, I've been singing since I was 8. You know what? I'm an artist. I'll say that.
Artist, right.
I'm an artist who specializes
in singing.
In vocal. So, I basically started when I was 8. And my mom used to make me sing in churches and things like that. So I would travel to different big churches and I would just, perform. And then I started modeling and I would do competitions. And I would do the talent portion and sing. I would just sing whenever I got the chance. But it's funny because I didn't take it serious.
Right.
So I just was singing because I knew how.
Were you just born with the gift of singing, or did you have to learn it?
I would say I was born with it. No one taught me. Like, I have 2 younger sisters, and one of my other sisters used to sing all the time.
Right.
I wasn't worried about that. And she did this talent show when we were in school, but I forget what happened, but she didn't end up doing it, and I felt bad, so I learned the song she was supposed to do.
And just did it replace
and I just did, and I did it for her or whatever, and everybody was like, oh, you can sing, and I was like, oh, shit, okay, like.
So it was just an easy thing. When you was performing, was it easy? Did you have any butterflies in your stomach, or it was just like, this is what I was born to do?
It was very nerve-wracking, actually, very nerve-wracking. Like, the first time I ever perform what I'm talking about, I did it as a joke because I always made people laugh. Like, that was always my thing. So I didn't know I could sing.
Right.
But when I did it and I realized people was liking it, then I got nervous because I'm like, oh shit, it's like something you're really, really good at. You don't want anyone to say anything bad about it, so you try to keep it close to you.
Right.
Versus anything else, you'd be like, man, I know I can't dance. So I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I think the moment I realized people were enjoying it, I started to think about it.
Right. So you said you were young when you did that, right?
I was 8.
So talk about how you made it. Like, when did you make the transition to say, I want to take this as a career. I want to take this more serious.
When I was in college.
College.
And that's a long time.
Right.
That's a long time. Basically, I got sick, which I'll get into that a little later if you want to know, but I got sick, and I was like, yeah, man, F it, it's not happening, whatever, and I just went to college to be a teacher.
Right.
I did all these programs to be a teacher, whatever, but I would still, sing and make music. Right. I met this girl, and she was from New York City, who's now a rapper, mad dope. Her name is Official Plain Jane. Check her out.
Yeah, she was on your EP, right?
Yeah, my first EP. I met this girl, and we was youngins, we was in the mud, okay? And she basically just, cussed me out. I would always talk about how I could do this better than this person. I'm like, nah, I could definitely do this better than this person. Nah, why they do that? Their melody's not even right. And we used to just be in the piano room making music, like original music, just doing anything. And one day she just cussed me out. She's like, yo, if you really want to make music, then why you not making music?
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't know where to start. I was coming up with all these excuses, so ain't nobody gonna bitch me either. She was making me feel like mad pussy. I was like, she was making me feel mad pussy, so I was like, dang, I'm gonna show her, and I ended up just showing myself. So someone had to cuss me out, and that's when I started taking it serious, because someone just let me know about myself. You can't say you want to do something and not put the work in.
That's true. Where you went to college at?
I went to Fredonia State University.
Where's that? That's
in
like,
the middle of no fucking where. It's a little past Buffalo.
or
There's like a rural area, mad weird, mad white. You know what I'm saying?
So earlier, you like couple of seconds ago, you just speak to having like you got sick, right? And the affected you singing. Do you want to go more into depth, like what happened in that situation?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I went to School of the Arts, and I was a vocal major. Like I said, I have been performing for years. My voice has always been super duper deep or raspy. I would start singing, you know, for doing what you would call it. They would call
Talent
it
shows?
Not talent shows. It was like rehearsals, recitals, because we used to have to do these recitals for our grade. And he would call us in individual so we could practice. And I would lose my voice as soon as I sang a song. Like,
so like you couldn't sing at all, or like
like my voice would be shot. Like I would sing one song and be done for the whole month or a whole week. And my teacher, but that had been happening to me for a while, so I just thought
it was natural.
Yeah, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I'm probably just singing too hard. And my teacher caught it, and he basically was like, that's not okay. Like, you're like 14, you're mad young. Like, you should be able to scream up and down these halls and still be okay.
Right.
So he told me to go to the doctor. I hate the doctors, so I ain't go. I ain't listen. One day I woke up and I couldn't sing, talk, no nothing.
So that you were trying to speak and this wasn't coming out?
It wasn't coming out. And
That's
it wasn't
crazy.
that felt, and it hurt. And so I finally went to the doctor, and they told me that I had this thing called laryngeal something. It's this long ass name.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know it.
But to break it down for you, I basically have these nodules and polyps, which is like these nasty bumps on my vocal cords. And your vocal cords are supposed to do this, but mine do this. So they're breaking. Yeah, they're deteriorating.
So when you heard that news, well, how did that make you feel? Like, especially you said you wasn't able to talk. How was they able like to kind of get you able to speak?
Man, I cried. I was crying. I was so hurt. I was so sad. But basically, just they gave me these medicines, like these antibiotics. I had to go on vocal rest, so I couldn't sing or talk for a couple months, I think 2 months.
Dang.
And I had to write everything down. And whenever my teachers got mad at me, I had to give them this letter like that said I couldn't speak.
That's crazy. So you probably a lot of people take singing and speaking for granted the whole time. You could have almost lost your voice, and that's something you never heard before.
Okay, never. I said, yo, what is this?
Like I never like you always hear people be like, yeah, they're deaf or something like that, or like, are they blind? But you never heard somebody that like was speaking and can't speak no more. Like that's weird. That's weird,
isn't it though?
Right.
And you know what's crazy? I actually learned that a lot of famous people actually have it. It's just the difference between me and the famous people is they got money, so they can fix it. Cause you can get surgery, but I felt like it wasn't worth it.
Right.
Because you could wake up and sound completely different. You could wake up and sing and sound horrible. You could wake up and not be able to talk at all. It's too risky, I felt like. So I had to just, take the medicine, follow what they said.
Right.
And just hope for the best. Eventually it got better, where I could talk, but I couldn't sing anymore. Like, and that's crazy, but like I couldn't sing. I sounded horrible.
Right.
It was bad. I lost all my skills, and I had to actually go
You had to relearn how to sing?
lessons. Yeah, I had to relearn how to sing.
Like, what's the like the most challenging part about learning how to sing? Because a lot of people be like, yeah, I wish I could learn how to sing, but it's like, where do you even start? Like,
well, if it's natural, because it was always natural, so I mean, I
so
when you
had to relearn, it was easy for you.
Yes and no, because I was singing wrong. It's anatomy. Like, you have to literally learn your body. That's what it is. So once I learned anatomy and how the vocal box works and how, like, it's in you start from, if you starting from scratch and you don't know, anybody can learn how to sing. I feel like singing is a gift though. So in order for people to feel it, you just gotta have that.
Right.
But if you are trying to learn how to sing, it's anatomy at the end of the day. So you're gonna go in and they're gonna teach you how to use your chest voice, your head voice. They're gonna teach you how to use your throat, what doesn't feel right, how to blow air from your diaphragm. You have to literally just learn yourself.
Yeah, it's mad. That sounds mad, like crazy. It ain't for me though, but but alright. So like when you got the confidence stuff, and your friend was like motivating you, like you could do it. Like why don't you do it, right? I know some of the thoughts of you like losing your voice was coming back to your mind. What pushed you over that limit that said like, you know what, I'm about to start my career?
Man, it was frustrating because during that time my voice was at the worst it had ever been. So like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show her, but I was so frustrated. Like my voice was going in and out. I sounded horrible.
Right.
Like it was just bad. Like it was bad.
So what kept you motivated? Because you know, like when people try something and it don't work out the first time, you like, damn, like why even keep going forward with it? Like what kept you motivated to like, yo, I'm about to prove it wrong. I'm about to get this done.
I've always been afraid to fail. Like in general, like I think success is anything to anyone, but for me, success is just like not being a failure. Right. Like, and I know that sounds like, okay, well, what are you saying? But I'm saying like anything, I can do anything. Like literally, like anybody can do anything that they want to. So why can't I do this?
Right.
Like there's no way. Like from a spiritual standpoint, it's like if God gave me this gift, if everyone's saying I could sing, if everybody is telling me I can do this,
right,
why can't I do this?
Right.
So even though it was frustrating, I'm just like, bro, like, you got to do this because you ain't no failure. So it was just like, I'm better than that. So I would just keep trying and trying and trying. Like, I would reach back out to my old vocal teachers and ask them, like, how should I do this? I was drinking medicine tea. It was disgusting, but I was doing it. Like, things I didn't want to do.
So you was trying to risk it. Like, you really wanted this.
I really wanted it. So I was like, man, I just wanted to prove myself that I'm not a failure. Because I felt like, if you don't do this, you're going to be a failure.
Right.
Because everybody tell you could do it, so you obviously can. Right. So I think it was just more of like, I can't fail. Like, I cannot fail. Like, that's what I just kept telling myself. I worked out every day at 5 p.m. I started to sing while I was running on the treadmill. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, but I'm like, nah, like, I gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta do this. Like, I couldn't, like, because, you know, part of the disease, I couldn't breathe. My endurance sucked. I breathed real hard a lot. Like right now. But so like I would run on the treadmill, like, you know, singing. I would run around campus singing. Like I was doing anything. Like I would stay late after vocal class and talk to my vocal teacher and have her help me. I learned how to sing opera because I was classically trained, but I took it to another level because I'm like, okay, I want to be great at this. Like I want to know the full capacity of my voice. So I just pushed myself until I couldn't go no more. And that's just, I can do this. Like this is not something that I could just let go. So that's really just what kept me motivated.
So I know you started doing song covers right when you first was getting back into making music and stuff. How did you get into like the process of writing songs? Because that's not easy. Like just to like to write music and stuff like that. Especially like it's just not easy. Like thinking that everybody would do it. So how did you like learn how to write music and start putting stuff out?
I always wrote music. That's the funny part. I used to write poetry. I used to write books. Like when I was a kid, I used to write little books and stuff,
so
and I used to give them to my grandma. Yeah, so writing was never really the hard part. And then a lot of people don't like. They think rapping, people who rap are the only people who freestyle. I freestyle a lot.
So you go into the studio and just freestyle?
Sometimes, most of the time, I don't want to tell that fib. Like I have gotten to a point where I'm really good at sitting down and just writing down a song. But when I first started, I had to freestyle because I would put too much pressure on myself and I would freak out. But I always wrote poetry, so that was the easy part. So it was just, it's always come easy.
So when you go into writing music, what's some of the things that's going on in your mind? Like what do you want to let the fans know? What's some of the stuff you want to talk about your music? Because I seen somewhere you said you want to be able to speak up for people that are afraid to talk. Like what's some of the things that's going on in your mind and how you come up with some of these ideas? Because people repeat the same thing over and over again, like, but you was like, it's kind of different. Every song's different. Every song is
a little different. I don't think too much when I'm writing. I just kind of write how I feel. So I feel like every song is a story. Essentially, you know, anyone would say I'm writing love songs, which is fine. Whether it's a heartbreak song or a sexual song or a song about love, like it's all in the same, you know, bungalow, same category. But I think what's going through my head is either a life experience or me talking about something that I feel, like literally. So I might hear something, I'm like, yo, it might take me back to something that happened to me 4 years ago, and I just write about it. Like, so it's not, I don't think too much. It's just, this is how I feel. This is how this beat makes me feel. Or right now, this is how I'm feeling, and then I'll find a beat to match it.
Right. So you write before you find the beat?
I do both. It just depends on the mood I'm in. So I might wake up at 3 a.m. because I suck. I cannot go to sleep for nothing. I got insomnia like a bitch. It's horrible. Can't do it. Don't know what it's about. But anyway, I wake up like all times of the night. And sometimes like I'll just be laying there and I know I just pick up my phone and I go on my voice memos or I go on my notes and I just get to typing.
Right.
And it might start off as just the hook. Like I might have a hook in my head. And then maybe a couple months later I'll hear a beat. And I'll be like, yo, I remember when I wrote this, and I'll go through my notes and I'll find it. Or sometimes I hear fire ass beat, and I write right then and there.
Right.
It just depends on where I'm at.
What's some of your favorite things to talk about in your music? Because we didn't heard you talk about heartbreak. We didn't heard you talk about kind of like personal stuff in your life. Like, what's your favorite? Like, what do you like getting out the most to your fans?
You know, right now, I love, because I feel like I said, going back to all my songs are essentially made up of the same things, but
right.
I could be telling a whole nother story and just, you know, disguising it as a love song.
Right.
So, like, I have a song called Alone. And a lot of people think that's a love song, but it's really, I wrote that about my parents and our relationship.
Right.
So that's where that came from.
Right.
Or, you know, you hear a song like Body. And I did turn it into a sexual song, but it didn't initially start off that way. It was
right.
literally talking about a feeling, like, you know,
right.
something I'm feeling. I was going through something exciting, something different. So I think I just like talking about anything. I'm not really vulnerable in real life.
Right.
I think I'm easy to talk to, and I think I'm cool. I goof around a lot, but
right.
I don't talk to people about what I got going on.
Right.
So in my music, I just like to be vulnerable, like emotional, because in real life, you ain't gonna get that.
Right.
You're gonna get a joke or two, but I ain't gonna give you too much. So in my music, I like to express myself
right.
emotionally, because in real life, I have a hard time
right.
doing that.
Right. No, you just talked about making like a sexual song. As a female artist, do you feel like you have to sell like an image as like a sexy artist, and why? As an R&B artist,
I think it depends on what you're trying to do with yourself. Like, if you want to be mainstream, that seems to be the thing right now. I struggle with that sometimes, because I mean, I thought about it and I'm like, you know, some of us really are just sexual beings. So sometimes people feel like we're just being pushed to do things, when in reality that's just what we want to do.
Right.
But I hate that that's the blueprint. Like, that's the only thing you can do to
right.
get noticed, when you got fire ass artists like Tierra Whack or Mereba, or, you know, people, Jasmine Sullivan. Like, they talk about sex, they just don't show their bodies. You know,
right.
they don't have that sexual image.
Right.
So I feel like it's hard, because you don't always want to do that.
Right.
Like, even getting dressed for this interview, I was struggling, like, because, like, I dress like a, you know, if you ever watch my social media, it's a two-way street. I'm either real dressed up, real nice,
right.
or I'm wearing sweatpants and sneakers and baggy t-shirts. And I was like, dang, like, I want to be attractive. Like, you know, I want people to look at me. And then I thought about, like, what for? Like, what?
You
why?
want your music to speak for yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, niggas come up, they wear whatever they want to wear. And they be talking about sex and things all the time. And we
right.
don't never G-check them on what they wearing or
nah, they
how
do.
they present themselves.
You got to wear chains as a dude, like, for a girl to be attracted to a nigga. Like,
you think that?
Bro, that's why niggas be flashing money. It's all to catch the attention of a female.
I feel like it depends on the type of females that you want to attract.
Nah, but like...
Because I think I'm a good-looking female.
Right.
And I got all my own shit.
Right.
I used to have gold chains and things of that nature. I don't care. I only got like 6 pairs of sneakers in my closet.
But
and I'm not afraid to say that.
But I ain't
Niggas
gonna lie, for females, it's not really about what you got on. It's really about, like, a nigga mostly look at she's pretty, that she got a nice body. For a nigga, like, a nigga could be ugly and stuff, but, like, if you got money or you got jewelry, you got nice cars, a female's gonna be attracted to you regardless if you ugly. Like, that's, like...
Yeah, that's not completely true. I can't speak for every female, and I'm not a man, so I can't speak from the experience of a man, but I definitely feel like, me personally, like, I do look at what a person has, but not for those reasons. Like, yes, I want to do with a car, but not because, like, oh yeah, I got a car.
Right.
I'm not about to date nobody with no car, because I ain't no Uber, and I'm not driving you around.
Right.
I like if you could dress well, if you got nice things, because I dress well, so it don't got nothing to do with like.
I ain't gonna lie, like 21 Savage said something like this, like, a broke guy, a rich dude could look at a broke girl, but a rich girl can look at a broke dude's way, like, and that's just crazy. Like, you gotta, like, and me, you talked about this, like, guys and females have different perspectives, like, on stuff like this.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, it really depends, cause like I have talked to a guy who didn't have a car, who didn't have as much, and it didn't buy. But what got me was the type of person he was, though. So even though he didn't have a car, he was mad nice. He was mad sweet. He didn't ask me for a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still paid for everything, like food wise and whatnot. He didn't have the best clothes on. He didn't have he didn't have no chains actually. But the reason I like hanging out with him, he was down to earth. He was solid, and he was trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was just no bum sitting in my passenger. Like, he was mad cool. So I feel like it really.
That's why I could respect you for that, because a lot of females, they all into, like, they want like, it's like the city girls motivate girls to, like, want stuff like Birkin bags and stuff like that.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me tell you, about the city girls. The way they put it is kind of like, it's a little OD, but I kind of get what they saying in a sense, like going back to when I was saying, like, I got a car, so I'm not about to date no dude with no car.
Right.
But I feel like if you're going to have that expectation, you got to bring that to the table too. You can't come like that as a female or a male. You can't come like that and you're not bringing that. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't say the same for females.
I can't say that for all females, but I know for me and the way my friends roll, like, we all got our own. Like, we all independent. Like I got my own stuff. Like, if I want a chain tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy me a chain. If I want a bag, right now, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy me a bag. Now, dudes be thinking they about to come and date you, right? And they're not gonna contribute to you. I'm gonna contribute to you too. Like, I'm gonna feed into you. So I'm gonna have you looking right. And you need to be having me looking right. You gonna be fed as long as you feed me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it need to be a two-way street. So I kind of get what they saying. Like this, everything I got, you're not about to lay down next to me, and you're not about to get wifey things, and you're not doing husband things. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Bro, you're not about to get in my car, you're not pumping my gas. Are you crazy?
Right.
Are you crazy? It's not an expectation, but I'm going to note that if you don't. And no, you won't be able to stick around. You're not going to be able to touch me, none of that, if you're not bringing that to the table.
Oftentimes, like, especially you being an artist, right? I feel like you say, like, guys being worth so much. Guys have power sometimes in the industry, right? And they're going to try to mess with you as a female, like, sexually. Like, are you afraid of that? Or, what's your thoughts on that? Because you hear that all the time in the industry, like, girls got, like, fuck for their way to get to the top, basically. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Am I scared of it?
Yeah, are you scared of how you approach it? Especially like, because it's like when guys know that they can get you to the top, especially being like producers, A&R, so they're gonna try to like touch your legs, try to get you like.
I'm not afraid of it because I've already gone through it and still continue to go through it a lot. It's intimidating, but it's not necessarily scary. Like, I don't go in thinking everybody gonna have the same mindset because I don't set in creative spaces with men who don't pay me no mind. Or they might say something like, "Oh well, you look nice," and then that's it. And then it's work.
Right.
But it's been a lot of times where I go in and they get to flirting and okay, you know what I'm saying, whatever,
right.
And they don't want to send you your stuff. Or they ask you on a date or something, you say no, now they got an attitude with you.
So you've been dealing with that just like on the rise. You've been doing like a lot of
it. Like a lot of it. Even working with other male artists, I feel like they don't take you as serious unless you got something to give. You know what I'm saying? Or I hate to talk about this, but I worked with someone. And I felt like, at first, they didn't pay me no mind. Like, they was like, they came at me like, yo, I really want to work with you.
Right.
But, it's got to be strictly business. This, that, and third. You need to be serious. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I can respect anyone that take their craft serious. I'm like, cool.
Right.
When we first met them, everything was Gucci. Wasn't paying attention to me at all. Now, you do need to be able to build relationships with the people you work with. Because how the music, whatever you do ain't going to come out right if you and that person don't get to know each other or build some type of bond. We got to talking. I'm like, wow, this is a cool person. But they took it to a whole nother level. Like, they wanted to get physical and all that. And I didn't like that.
Right.
Now, I'm human. I'm not perfect. Sometimes, like, I feed into, but once I noticed that I was feeding into it, if I'm being truthful, because I got to tell both sides. Once I start feeding into it, I had to listen.
Stop letting
whatever it was,
right.
It ain't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get to work. That's it. I don't deal with people who do music on a business level, but they just couldn't.
So they can't separate the two.
They couldn't separate the two, and they just felt like, wow, like, it didn't matter how many times, like, this person just felt entitled. And I dealt with that a lot. So it's just annoying because it gets, then they didn't want to work with me no more. Like, they're like, all right, well,
that's crazy.
And I'm like,
I think that's what happens a lot because you were here, like, I think, I don't want to say no names.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no names. But it was like a situation on, like, Love and Hip Hop, right? And it was like a DJ, and he was dealing with a certain artist, and it's like he kept trying, like, fuck her so she get, like, he wasn't taking her no shit. He would bring other girls in, and they'll be fucking trying to get to the fame, but, like, he wasn't giving her no chance. No. And she didn't break through, and she ended up doing her thing and without him type shit. Mm-hmm. And now he kind of hurt, and he'd be looking stupid type of jump.
Yeah. Like, you just let that interrupt your bag. Like,
but a lot of females probably be letting it happen and still get to the top. Just all depends on your morals and like
Yeah, like I definitely feel like you need to be able to stay in grounded. Like I ain't judging nobody on how they get what they get and where they get, but I know me personally, like I got a lot of respect for myself, and I feel like there's no way you're gonna get respected if that's what you're doing because you set the bar for yourself. If I do it this one time, the next time, because people talk, the next time this is what this person is gonna be expected, and I want to be respected for my talent. I want to be noticed for what I can do and what I can bring to the table, not about how I look and what I can do in your bed. Like that's ridiculous.
Right. That's fact. So recently, we're gonna take back to the music a little bit. So recently, you just dropped Project 21. What's the name? Like, why'd you call it Project 21? And like, why'd you drop this? Like, just recently.
Okay, so I called it Project 21 because I turned 21. You know, I turned completely legal. So I was like, let's just celebrate it. Also because I felt like I didn't really sugarcoat anything. I talked about a lot of sensual things. I felt like I touched on that part of me that I've never really been comfortable with. I've always debated because, I'm like, I don't really want to sell sex. Right. So it's always been something I debated, but at the same time, like, it's a part of life. Right. It's just something that gets brought up a lot. And, it's always a controversial topic. Right. But I learned like that is a part of me, so I should be able to talk about it. Right. So Project 21 is just like, I'm 21. This is what's happened since the last time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like an update. Like, this is what's happened since the last time. I was sad, okay? Right. I was heartbroken. I was going through it, and now I'm a bad bitch. Right. And I'm sexy. And I don't care about what y'all think. So I felt like that's why I called it Project 21. Right. And I released it because I hadn't released anything since August, and I just wanted to show y'all my growth. I wanted to show y'all my musical growth. I wanted to show y'all my personal growth. So I just wanted to show y'all. So
talk about the process of making this. Like it's an album, right?
Yeah, it's like a little mini album.
And this is your first one, right? I mean, besides your EP, right? Talk about like the process of creating it. Like, what was your whole vibe? Like, what were you trying? What type of energy were you trying to put out? Cause you say you try to put you're a bad bitch type shit, like type of vibe. But you feel talk about creating an album, like.
Well, I always thought it would be difficult, but I went about it like I would go about anything else. Right. Now, my previous project that I dropped in 2019, No Love Lost. That's the first project. Well, that's not the first project I ever made. It's just the first project I ever put out. Right. And that was a long, long process because I'm a perfectionist. This one was a lot shorter. It was a lot easier. Now, I could do better. In the future, you learn, you grow, whatever. But I would say this is my best work so far. I think it sounds good production-wise or whatever. The process, I made one song. Because I knew in the back of my head I wanted to make a project. I just didn't know when and what it was going to be about. I really didn't. Right. I did a feature with somebody on a song, and I liked the way it sounded. It sounded real cool. Right. It was like, wow, like this is the type of music I want to make. Like, I like this. You're on to something. And then it turned into me. He was like, well, then let's make another song. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went, in my notes, pulled out a song, and then I said, wait, I got another song that complements that song. So it literally was just like, dang, I made two songs. I'm like, man, F it. Project. Yeah, like I just looked at him. I said, you know what, man, project. Right. And he was like, all right, yeah. So it wasn't really a long thought process. It was just more like, okay, here's this song. And then I wrote a bunch of songs that stem from that song. Because you don't got like mad songs on there. I think you got like probably like seven. It's like a 22-minute. How'd you go about picking what songs made the album? Well, because I knew I gave myself a time that it needed to come out. And the way I work is sometimes I'll put more time into what I feel like sounds more finished. And so what I did was the ones that sounded more finished, the ones I knew for sure, for certain, were the ones that I put on there. Like, those were the ones I felt the most comfortable with, the most confident in, the ones that I felt like, okay, people are gonna like this. Because I usually go off what I like, what I feel like is telling a story, and what I think people gonna like. Right. And then when I'm making a project, I make it like a project. So of course I'm aiming to make songs that are all single worthy. But in this case, I said I want it to be album-esque. So my EP, every song I wrote intentionally to be like a radio song. Right. even though this only has one more song in it, I said I want this to feel like an album. In an album, you got hits and you got songs you just let play. You know what I'm saying? You got songs you let play.
Right.
So I did it like that. I said, okay, these are the ones that I'm certain about, that I'm most confident in, that I like. And then I was like, okay, these are a few that I know aren't quote unquote bangers, but I know people are going to listen to them and be like, okay, this helps it flow. And that's how I kind of structured it and put together and figured out what song I was going to use.
So you just mentioned being radio, like trying to make radio songs, right? Is that what's your what's your goal? Are you trying to be a mainstream artist? Like, what's your whole like? Or are you just trying to just make music because you love it?
I take it seriously. I do want to be an entertainer. Mainstream, like yes and no. Like I do want to be the type of person you hear on the radio all the time and all of that, but I feel like they're like you do have to make certain type of music for that.
Right.
So
you know, like you mentioned Jasmine Sullivan. Like, would you like to be in like not her category, but like you feel me? Like she's not the most famous artist, but she's like she's known enough where she can do shows and stuff. Like, is that what is that where you want to be per se?
Yeah, I'd be grateful for anything. I like, cause me, I don't care too much for the fame. I just really want to be able to live wealthy and good off of doing what I love. So for me, yes, I wouldn't mind being on a Jasmine Sullivan or a Kehlani level where, like, you know, I'm not like an A-list celebrity, but y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could sell out a concert if I wanted to. It don't matter if I'm not on every magazine cover. But if I put out a concert, that shit sold out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wouldn't mind being that level. Like, I want people to enjoy my music. I want to be able to connect with people with my music. So as long as I'm doing that, like, I'll feel blessed regardless.
Who's some people you want to work with, not only industry-wise, but local-wise? Like, because you mentioned, like, Kehlani. Those are some people, like, you want to be in that, like, kind of category as far as fame-wise, like, wealth-wise. So, like, who's some people you want to work with, like, that inspire you or something?
So, you mean, like...
Let's do, like, who you want to work with in the industry, like, this kind of industry, then we're going to do local.
There's a lot of people that I wouldn't mind working with. Like, I do like making my own music by myself. But I would say, like, you know, definitely Jasmine Sullivan. She's actually one of my favorite singers in the whole wide world. She made me feel comfortable about my lower register and how raspy hers is. I would definitely say I would want to work with Chloe and Halle is fire.
Who?
Chloe and Halle. You don't know Chloe and Halle? Okay, you know the two girls that Beyonce produced. The sisters.
No.
Oh, nah, baby. We gonna put you on right after this. I don't know, baby. Y'all need to tell them about them, okay? Shorty just did the Busted Challenge and went viral. You ain't even see it.
I ain't see
the girl
it.
with the locks?
No.
They
I ain't
fight.
gonna hold you. They be saying R&B's kind of dead because you feel me, like it's kind of hard to find R&B artists right now, to be honest with you. So it's like, it's not like put in your face for so I don't be seeing or catching it.
Yeah, maybe I just noticed because that's what I like, so that's what I listen to a lot. But, like, yes, I'm going to answer that question and we're going to get into that. So, basically, Chloe and Halle, Jasmine Sullivan, Ari Lennox, J. Cole, Miguel, I love him.
Legend.
I love him. I love him. I love him. Right now that's it. Like on a working level, like that's really that's it for me.
What about local wise?
Local wise, you know, there's a lot of talented people here. It really is. I want to work with Kai. Like, we worked together before, but he lost the file or whatever. So if you watching this, we need to get it together. Because we made a hit and you lost it. You really dropped the ball on that one. But I forgive you. I forgive you, but you really dropped the ball on that one. So Kai Major, TJ, Prince TJ, Mark Tino.
You gotta say M-Dub. You can't be saying his real name.
M-Dub. M-Dub. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. It's a lot of good people out with my Laja, Deja Vu.
Deja Vu, yeah.
Deja Vu. Yeah, honestly, everybody.
Nah, so you open to doing like working with anybody?
I'm open to working with anybody, especially those people that I name, because I feel like they do put a lot of work in their craft and it sounds good. And I think they sound a little different from me. I feel like me and Deja Vu are in the same category, but she sing more R&B. Like, I think I do feel like you could categorize me as an R&B singer, but I think I play with a lot of pop beats and hip hop beats. So she's more of a slower singer, but I definitely feel like she bring that out of me. So I would like to work with her because she's an amazing vocalist.
Right.
Laja is a female rapper.
Yeah.
She's dope. And I think that would be good. Like, you know, even if I just did a hook or whatever, I think that would be fire. Kai is really good with the harmonies and shit like that. Like, I think we could make a banger. Juga Juice. That's how you say it?
Yeah.
All right, good. Because you see how to mumble it, because I know. Juga Juice. I want to work with him, too. I think it's a lot of talented people, so I'm open.
Right. So now, earlier, like, just like before, we was talking about like, R&B kind of being dead, me not knowing, like, what's your whole take on that? Because it's like, R&B is, I want to say R&B is dead, but it's just not like the same how it used to be. Is it because it's not mainstream anymore, or is it just because people are not in love anymore?
I think R&B. There is a nice community for us R&B.
No, that's
I think y'all could be mad at me for saying this, right? But I definitely feel like rap culture has taken over. And now you got rappers singing and shit. Which, that's why I stopped you when I said, when you was like, you a singer. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not a singer. I'm an artist.
Right.
Because I want to do whatever the hell I want to do.
Right.
If I get in the booth.
You want to rap.
And I want, like, X is, I don't know if you know that song off my project X. It's like a song where I'm not really singing.
Right.
I'm doing essentially what they be doing.
Right.
I'm just, I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing on this beat. And it just sound right. So you got people like Rod Wave, Polo G, got all these different people that harmonize. Kai Major, he could rap and sing, but he doing that sing rap shit, and then that fills that R&B component. So now you got your favorite rappers.
But I feel like when people say R&B is that like R&B people like love making music. Like it makes you like want to go get a girlfriend. It makes you want to go get a boyfriend. Like it makes you want to go date your significant other. Like and that's what we want.
You mean that slow?
Yeah, like that.
Slow.
Like when you say R&B, when they say like King of R&B, you think like R. Kelly, like Chris Brown, those type of music, like those breakup music, those love songs. You don't hear that too often now. Now being on more some like fuck that hoe, you feel me, like or fuck, and the girl saying fuck that nigga or something like that. You don't be hearing like fall in love type of music. I feel like it's because our generation is kind of like pushing away from like relationships and stuff like that. That's what I mean when people say R&B is dead.
You talking to a person who listens to R&B every single day.
I wouldn't say it's dead,
so
but
for me,
I'm talking about like it's not like
it's not popular.
Yeah.
It's not something you hear all the time.
Right.
Like it's just not, and that kind of sucks. I don't think it's dead. I just think it's just not popular. So it ain't dead. It's just that it's not popular no more. Because people are angry, and going back to what you're saying about our generation and their feelings and being sensitive. Y'all do love people, and you guys are emotional, and y'all mad sensitive. So stop it. Because, okay, you know what I'm saying? The way y'all be in my inbox, okay, y'all soft, and that's okay. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay. All y'all in my inbox, okay? Y'all soft, and y'all got feelings, and that's okay. Because guess what? I'm mad hard, but I got feelings too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people do like that music because, like, yeah, that's how I feel. But I got male friends and we be bumping Giveon. You know what I'm saying? He make love music. We be bumping.
I mean, yeah, of course, people be in that like type of vibe, but it be on some like I don't know, you trying to tell nobody, we trying to be gangster 24/7.
But like that's crazy to me. Like that's mad weird to me. I feel like you trying to put on this facade, and again, what you listen to all the time is kind of crazy.
And again, it goes back to like me saying like guys gotta act a certain way for girls. Like nobody want no soft dude for real.
Man, look, music. Okay.
And you feel me? So like when you outside, you gotta put on this persona like, yo, I'm hard 24/7. But like reality, you might be going through the toughest times of your life, but as a guy, it's like you can't show that because it's like it's not like females are not attracted to this type of stuff.
I think that's sad though. Like I think that's sad because you do see a lot of that. So I feel bad for y'all. I'm sorry, guys. like now I'm talking. I'm sorry, y'all, that y'all gotta go through that because that is toxic masculinity. Like I said, I can't speak for every girl, but I will say I can attest to that because a lot of females do say they don't want no dude that's not hard. Right. Me personally, I don't want no drug dealer. I don't want no drug dealer. I don't want nobody that don't care about me. Right. I don't want no dude that wear his pants below his ass all the time. If you do, That's cool. But I don't want that all the time. I like to go out. I like to be told I'm pretty. I want me and you to be able to go to the nail salon and you get your toes done with me. Because ain't nothing wrong with that. I want you to be able to like, you could listen to gangster rap or whatever.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But I don't mind. Like, why can't we kick back and listen to Summer and like before it come on, you like, nah, turn that off. Like, don't do that. Because it's fire. And you know deep down in your soul it is. Because we all done felt that way before. Right. So it sucks that that's the way it is because I've met a lot of different people. I've dealt with a lot of people friend-wise and relationship-wise. And they do have that same mentality. Right. Like, they be like, once they like get comfortable with me and they talk to me, they be like, nah, like I feel like I got to act like this. I hear that a lot. And I'm just like, that's tough because I'm not looking at you no different right now. And you listening to this, you got this on your playlist, I'm actually more attracted to you. Like, you in tune with your side. To me, that shows more boldness. You're a coward if you can't be yourself. You're a coward if you can't be yourself. So that's more like
a lot of people are afraid to stand out. Like, everybody wants to fit in. That's what
that sucks.
And that's because of social media. That only makes it worse.
I don't want nobody that acting like the next dude. Because who are you? You don't know yourself. How am I supposed to like someone that don't know themselves?
That's why you got a lot of niggas that's trying to be like young boy. You don't be seeing these niggas. They really think they like young boy for real. Like,
okay. Y'all be out here trying to be somebody else. Be yourself.
Nah. One of the fans' questions was, are you in a relationship? Your relationship status?
Y'all think I'm in a relationship?
They wanted to know.
You're like, maybe. I don't know. Am I going to be in hot water if I don't answer it the right way?
I don't
what
know.
You think?
Is between you and who?
Man, I'm a sex symbol. I can't be telling y'all that. Nah, I'm in a nice little relationship. I am off the market.
Nah, that's what's so now they can stay out your inbox kind of.
Kind of like kind of make me feel like I still got it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but yeah, I'm
Wait, so how does you be in a relationship and like your nigga hearing some of the shit you talk about? How does he like feel about that? And like even like you even being an artist, that gives you more attention than like the next female. So how does he take that?
My boyfriend confident.
So
he not really worried about that. He's very supportive. So that's never been a problem. Like he'd be like, nah, this hard. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he actually he be helping me. Like he'd be like, nah, this hard. Like when I was making my project, he was like, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling it, but I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like so, if anything, he just kind of pushed me to go harder in a sense. So he's very supportive. So that's never been a problem.
Another fan question is this is the outrageous one, but me and you both seen I gotta do it for my son Jahari. He said
my God.
He said, would you ever like start an OnlyFans? Like not even like I want to say like to start because you know again we got to say you got to sell an image type thing. It don't really gotta be like sexy, just be like start an OnlyFans for your fans to like you know guys look at like Miss Mulatto and be like she's attractive. She don't put nothing crazy. Just look at, would you ever start one of those?
It has such a negative connotation.
Yeah, because that's what it's like. That's the negativity always sells people. I heard like Chris Brown has an OnlyFans and he be like playing unreleased music on it. It's all about what you use it for.
It originally started as like it was meant for people to put their stuff out there, whatever it was that they do, and get money off of that content, while people who really F with them, who will really mess with them, see it. So it's something I've definitely considered. I don't think, but it just has such a negative connotation.
So you want to do it?
I don't know. Like it's like there's a lot of things I'd be like kind of nervous to do because it has such a negative connotation. But I do feel like you know what I'm saying. It's just like if you get that tattoo above your ass, and you know it's called a tramp stamp, but you don't gotta be no tramp. You might just like it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. Like I feel like it's definitely something I thought about if people was really interested to see the type of stuff that I do, like my music videos, like anytime, like the last time I shot a music video, that shit was hilarious. It was funny as hell. It was really a vibe in here, and I'm like, yo, I would pay to see something like that if I liked somebody.
All right, so I think I talked to you about this, but like as an artist, do you feel like you gotta do more vlogs, like do makeup videos to sell, like to try to kind of interact with your fans? Like, what's your whole thought process on that?
I think that during these days, these times, you know, the last 5-10 years, I would say like that has become a thing. Because I think you definitely do, as an artist, want to build a personal relationship with your supporters or people that support you, right? I think it was easier back then because all you had to do was have talent. And now it's not just based off talent. Now it's like you gotta be your business, like everything you got going on.
It's a brand, like with Queen. If it wasn't for that YouTube channel, we might not never heard for like Like,
yeah,
for a couple people, like, they wasn't connected to Love and Hip Hop, we might never heard them, like.
Yeah, like, it's just hard.
Right.
It's hard because, you know what I'm saying, like, speaking from a regular level, like a regular person right now, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I think I have potential to be a star, a great, you know, influence, but if I'm being honest, I'm at square one right now, you know what I'm saying, like, so I work a regular job. I got 2 jobs. I work a lot, you know what I'm saying, like, so it ain't just all the like whatever you see, like all that glamour stuff, the final product, the photo shoot, the music video, like all that stuff, all the pictures I be taking, like, I gotta go clock in first, like, and then I gotta, like, I fund everything myself, so I feel like it's hard to sit down and worry about making a goddamn TikTok, and I got shit to do, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it's like you want to, so, and then me, like, I feel like I'm an omnivert, like, I'm introverted when I don't know people like that, I'm very private with my life, like, I don't mind talking to people when I'm comfortable around a person. I could be very outgoing, like, that's what I like to sell when I do find the time. But it's hard, so I definitely feel like it's something that is necessary these days. But I think for the regular person that has regular shit, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't gotta worry about getting my hair and makeup done today, like, I gotta actually pay my rent next week, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta do this first. But I did just talk to somebody, this musician who got a couple Grammys, he's a songwriter he's based in LA, and he, like, literally told me, he's like, bruh, no one cares. So, you know, I've been internalizing that, and I'm like, bruh, that's something I gotta start doing.
You just said you just talked to somebody, I have people been reaching out to you?
Yes, actually, a part of that I say to Clubhouse, I attribute a lot of that for. Like, it's a good networking app. But I also feel like just, like, you know, me brushing shoulders with people or indie artists that have more play, like, more attention. Like, they just see my stuff, like, they'll be watching my stories and then they actually reach out, and I think that's fire. Or, like, little things like that. Like, it's just, like, little stuff like that. Like, a lot of people have been reaching out to me. Little old me, that keep doing it. Like, tell your mamas and your daddies and your cousins, and if they know a friend that know a friend that know a friend that just happened to know Beyonce.
They said know Beyonce.
You tell them to hit me, you know what I'm saying? So, I've been getting a lot of attention. It's weird, but I'm very grateful.
You liking it though? Because you say you don't really want to be like famous, but you like. It's
a double-edged sword. Like, it's like I think everybody in their head wants to get credit for what they do. Everybody wants to well know. Like, if I could get everybody to know me for who I was without the judgment piece, I wouldn't mind it. I think it's the judgment piece.
So when people comment and stuff, you take that like kind of in? Or? No,
and that's the problem. I'm
so like negativity, like cause if you go to like the nuts, like just anybody in general, you go to like their profiles, you got mad haters talk about do you look like this, or it might be positive feedback. How do you take that?
I used to hate criticism. I used to hate it so much. Like, who fucking asked you? You know what I'm saying? But I have gotten so much of it that it doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I'm either confident in my craft or I'm not. I'm either confident in this picture or I'm not. Like, I had to tell myself a long time ago, like, everybody ugly to somebody. So you can't take everything to the heart, you know what I'm saying? Someone might like my music, and it's probably like 5 other people to that one person that's like, bro, I hate her. Like, I hate her. And I've completely gotten over that. Like, I've learned to look at that, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's good, though.
Yeah, like...
like, other young girls that, like, trying to create their own brand could take the same type of mindset you have right now and just use it. Because it seems like a lot of people be letting, like, little internet stuff get to them. And that's...
and I'm not perfect. Like, you know, I still... Things bother me sometimes. But most of the time, like, especially when it comes down to my music, that's something you can't take away from me. Like, that's how I know. I know I'm fire at this shit. Like, I know my pen game is strong, and I'm only 21, and it's only gonna get better. I know for a fact that I can fucking sing. And I can out-sing a whole lot of people. So you can say what you want to say. If you don't like it, I respect it. That's okay. I'm not for everybody. It's somebody that can't relate to me at all. It's some people that probably listen and be like, yo, I wish you would shut the fuck up. And that's okay. Like, I've accepted that. But you know what? Maybe to them 10 people, it's like 500 other people that's she fired.
That's a fact.
So I don't know. I feel like, you know, I hope a lot of young women and males, but mostly women, because I feel like we're very insecure, especially with the way they push a certain image in society. Like, we have to look a certain way. We have to be attractive. We have to, you know, I say just, you know, keep on thugging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep on thugging. Like, honestly, no one cares. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's the only way I had to get it through my head.
Right.
When everybody was like rubbing my head and saying, Montrael, it's okay, it didn't register. When someone looked me in my face and said, bro, no one cares, that's when it finally locked in. Like, you right.
Right.
No one cares. Only what, like, you know what? It's people out here who can't sing and they're making millions right now. You want to know why? Because they didn't care.
They didn't care, right?
They didn't care because they realized no one cares.
Right.
So the minute you realize no one cares, you will get so far. Okay?
Alright, talk about, you said target like 500 people. Like, what's your dream place to perform at?
My dream place to perform at.
If you do our location, like you want to perform like Paris, you want to perform in LA, like you want to perform at the Gardens.
I want to perform everywhere.
She don't got no like dreams.
Everywhere. Like, I done had so many different dreams. I'm probably gonna have a dream tonight, okay, about exactly what my hair look like, what the sound look like, if I got a live band, what the dance look like. I done dreamed all that already.
Do you
I
want
want
that?
to do everywhere.
Do you want a live band when you perform as?
Yes, I want it all. I want a live band. I
Right.
want backup dancers. I want backup singers. I want it all.
So-
I want it all. So everywhere, the Gardens, Rolling Loud, LA, the Grammys.
Right.
Okay, BET going down here right now, but BET.
Bring it
I
back.
want
You
to
gotta
perform
bring it back.
everywhere. Yeah, like, I want to do everything. I want the opportunity to perform any and everywhere, even if it's just on the street corner. I want to perform. So I want to perform everywhere that all the greats have performed.
Right.
Everywhere.
Talk about that virtual concert you just put together. Like, I think it was a few weeks ago. Talk about how that came about. Like how like the feedback you guys performer. Like everybody tuning in on YouTube because it's hard to get people to tune in, especially when they're not there. But you seem like a lot of people sharing your video your
A lot
performance.
of people did. A lot of people did tune in, and I'm very grateful for that because I feel like I said, it's very hard when you got a lot of things to do. Basically, the Social Lubricant, I don't exactly know what it's about, but they're part of this thing called Girl Gang, real well known, and they support women, obviously. And basically, this girl who is a musician that I met, she's from New York City. She reached out to me and some other girls from all over. You know, some people was from Florida, some people was from New York, some people was from I forget, but we were all from somewhere different.
Right.
And she just reached out to me and was like, "Yo, I want you to do this." I saw a couple, because, like, you know, the way we did it was we submitted our videos because, you know, we regular people, we got things to do.
Right.
So, you know, we submitted our sets. I submitted mine a little last minute because I was busy, but also I had a hard time figuring out what it was that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I feel like I don't sing enough. Like I said, I'm an artist, so I can do whatever I want to do, and I feel like that leaves the box open for me to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
But I do specialize in vocals. And I don't sing enough, so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something acoustic. I wanted to do something that showed off, you know, my vulnerability. So she just reached out to me, and I just sat down and I tried to think about what's something I could do, and I just decided to do an acoustic set. I got a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people told me it gave them chills, and that they felt like they resonated with the songs, and that's all I really wanted. And I felt like I got my own feedback for myself. I definitely feel like I wanted better microphone and system.
Right. But that was your first one, so it's like you can get better.
Yes, it felt good. I felt like I created a good scene. Like, even though I wasn't moving too much, and I made a serene scene with what I had.
The purple color just gave us that vibe. It just made you like relax. That was kind of dope to me.
Yeah, with the candles, and I was like, I'm not about to wear all this makeup. I just did my hair, put on something I would wear on a regular day, because I just wanted to be vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to be vulnerable. I wanted people to see, like, pay attention to me.
Right.
Because a lot of my music, like I said, I play with so many different beats. Right. Sometimes you don't hear my, like, voice. Sometimes you just hear, like, oh, wow, this is a good song. Right. Like, you're not really focused on what I'm talking about, or, like, you know, the type of person I am. And as I was saying before, I wanted to show my emotional side, my vulnerability in my music. So I felt like that was the best way to do it.
All right. So, let's talk about 2020. What are some of your plans this year?
I definitely want to put out some more stuff, more visuals, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm director X with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm Shonda Rhimes with the script.
Right.
Okay, you're not messing up, but I'm Tyler Perry with it, okay? I want to give out movies.
So everybody see more videos from you?
Yes, more videos. Everyone liked Closer so much, and that was one of the most simplest ideas. But I like how it came out, like, you know, it was inspired by the movie Belly. And I have all these big ideas. So I want to show like.
So you be writing like the kind of like how you want your video to be set up.
I'm one of those. Like when you come and work with me, I already know what I want. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Right.
When you came, we got on the phone. I said, get your notebook. He said, all right, shout out to Kyron. He got his notebook. I said, all right, boom. I want it to look like this.
Right.
And I want everyone to look like this. And I want the lights to look like this. But when you film me, I need it to look like this. And I want the text to like. So I want to give more visuals. I want to show like more of. I want to show what I could do. Like that's really what I want to focus on. I want to show not only just the music aspect of things. I want to give my image out. Like show y'all who I really am. So I want to work on more content.
Right.
So not only in my visuals, but I want to work on, try TikTok, try to make more little YouTube videos, try to make little reels, things like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope, like, because you really want like a female fan base. You want to like, say you want to sell makeup or something, cause that's where
I want.
Like, you want to be able to sell makeup, you gonna do them videos where they're gonna be in tune to you. They want to know about you, so you gotta do more of that.
Yeah, I think like what's funny? I actually started off with a bigger male fan base than a female fan base. I think this project, because the last project was more general. I didn't really say boy a lot in my music because I wanted everyone to feel it.
Yeah.
This project was more because I was talking about, where I'm at now, and I am a girl, so it was more centered on girl-like things.
Right.
I think they're general problems, but more girl-focused, so I do feel like I gained a bigger female audience this time around.
But you got both now, so you got one project, you got the EP for like everybody, you got the females, now it's like, now it's about getting a big fan base, you can get both y'all off this now.
Like,
you gonna buy your product.
I got something for everybody.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely want to focus on that in 2021. More visuals, more showing y'all my personality, because I think I'm a great person.
Now you funny, like when you talk, you just don't talk.
Because people gonna try and say I'm not. You're lying. So thank you. But yeah, I definitely want to get more personal. So that's my biggest thing. I want to take more pictures. I just want to put myself out there. Right. I feel like I've shown that I got talent. I've shown that I could write. Right. I've shown that I got music. And now I want to show y'all that I can dance. Right. I want to show y'all that I can be creative. Not only in just like making music, but showing y'all what it is, because I feel like a music video, they're whack these days. You just got a bunch of strippers, or you got people looking out the window like they about to cry. Like, I don't got time for that. Right. I'm trying to show y'all
like a movie type, just like
Michael Jackson, like Chris Brown. Like, I want to bring back like that. So I want to show that. I just want to show, like, I want to give y'all everything. I just want to introduce y'all to Montrael. I want to introduce y'all to Montii Carlo in 2021.
All right, well, we about to wrap it up. Let people know your social media and stuff like that.
Alright, you know what I'm saying? You can get me everywhere, okay? Mainly Instagram. That's going to be Montii Carlo, 2 eyes Carlo. And that's a the in front of it, because there's only one. And that's me. Okay, the Montii Carlo. T-H-E, Montii, 2 eyes Carlo. Facebook, Montii Carlo, 2 eyes Carlo. You know what I'm saying? Twitter, Montii Carlo. It's all the same. My Snapchat is a little different, but y'all can't have it. Y'all can't have it. Y'all stay with the other ones, because y'all can't have my Snapchat. Y'all can't have my Snapchat.
But shout out BestsPointOfViewTV for this interview.
Thank you, Best Point of View. Because you know what I'm saying? I feel so recognized. I was looking at your videos. I said, you ain't got no females.
Bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been trying to work with female artists. It's like someone just don't be taking it serious. So it's like, it's hard. But you basically really my first solo female artist that I ever did an interview with.
Oh my god!
It's been an achievement.
I'm so honored. I can't wait to tell everybody this. Be like, I was the first. I was his first time. I'm gonna say it just like that too. It was his first time.
Now you checking out though.
Alright, thank you.
Check it. Trials and tribulations, I'm just trying to live my life, hoping I make the right decisions, cause I wanna live it right. I remember nights, no sleep, feeling weaker than 7 days. Now I'm using my clever ways to make sure my songs getting played, but these niggas doubt me, they think I'm not gonna make it, but soon I'm gonna be rich and happy, that girl getting naked. I promise you I'm the best, Supreme Noxie, I'm on the rise, smoking dope and I'm getting high, spirit she floating to the sky. I wonder, is they gon' think I'm a joke because